Hey guys, this is Kevin over at jazzham.com. Jazzham.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you want to know the price of the watch, simply click on the links in the description below. We appreciate it if you'd buy a watch from jazzham.com once in a while. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a review on the Rolex GMT-Master 2, nicknamed Pepsi. This is the model number 126710. We'll be going over the dial, bezel, case, crown, bracelet class, and we'll talk about the movement towards the end of the video. Okay, so before we jump right into the dial, this Rolex GMT-Master, the Pepsi, is a throwback to the vintage style model back from 1955. So we do have that beautiful Pepsi, Pepsi bezel with the half undertone red and the overtone blue over there. The nice Jubilee bracelet that you don't really see on modern Rolex watches. So one of the first of the newer modern Rolex watches to have the Jubilee style bracelet. Specifically for the Pepsi, there has been a Pepsi that was previously released before in around 2014, so people did have a chance to sort of reclaim and have a chance at the Pepsi. However, that one was in white gold, and of course for a much higher price tag than most people could afford. So Rolex came out with this one from the recent Bezel World show. That is a throwback to that vintage model, as I mentioned, the 1955 one that does have the Jubilee bracelet and such. So for the dial, we just have the standard Rolex sports dial, which is the maxi dial, which has the black glossy dial, circular hour markers, and then see 6, 9, and 12 o'clock triangular 12 o'clock position. The additional GMT hand, however, in a red hand instead, as the previous GMT model, just the standard 116710, had a green hand. This one has a red to match very nicely with the red on the bezel. The hour markers are fashioned in 18 karat white gold. Same can be said about the Mercedes hour hand and the minute hand as well. And they're all luminous filled with a highly legible chromolite display with long-lasting blue luminescence. So we have a nice visibility of in the dark for up to 8 hours with that glow in the dark blue luminescence, and you also just very simple to read dial for daytime as well. We have the date window at the 3 o'clock position with a Cyclops lens on top of that sapphire crystal for magnification and easier viewing of that date. The text, surprisingly, is just a plain white text. Is the Rolex name at the 12 o'clock position with the crown logo. The GMT Master 2 name just in the plain white text as well. Which is surprising because I've seen from the newer Rolex pieces, there's been different varieties of color text for just the model name, such as the two-tone GMTs. And the rose gold have the glinted GMT names, but this one's just a nice plain white text that has a nice contrast to that black background. One thing to note is at the 6 o'clock position, this is more of a change for most Rolex watches now, is the Swiss made underneath that rectangular hour marker there. It has the addition of the Rolex crown logo right between that Swiss made, sort of as to give you idea that they've actually updated their movement, which we'll talk about later in the video. But besides that, this is pretty much just the typical Rolex dial structure you can expect from Rolex sports pieces. There's no other changes, or rather there's no other options for dial colors. It's just that simple black coloring, which looks very nice. So moving on to the bezel now. The bezel is what really makes this watch called the Pepsi. We have the red undertone from the 6 to the 18, and then the blue overtone from the 18 to the 6. That also helps with the day and night cycle as well. So 6 to 18, you can tell that's daytime. 18 to the 6 from above, you can tell that's around nighttime. And with the triangular 12 o'clock position to help set the positioning for additional time zone. The Arabic numerals go all the way to a 22, marking for a 24-hour gradation. We have even numbers in Arabic numerals, but odd numbers are indicated by the dots in between each even numeral. Now, specifically for the bezel color, it is a unique process for Rolex that they've tried and tested for years. The blue uses a sort of a process with a metallic salt solution, while the red underside uses sort of a mix of different different oxides, chromium oxide, magnesium oxide, and a rare earth oxide to sort of get that red coloring and a blue coloring. And then the numerals themselves, I did forget to mention, are finished with a platinum as well. Actually, the whole bezel gets coated with platinum, and then it's actually polished off, so that way the platinum stands out only in the numerals, nothing on the bezel. So the bezel is nice and shiny from that ceramic, very resistant against scratches and such. And the platinum actually helps the numerals, the Arabic numerals and the dottage from between the numerals, helps it stand out. It makes it easier to read against that blue and red background. The bezel itself is bidirectional, so it can shift both ways, as it's not a diver watch. Only divers watches have that limitation of being unidirectional. This is bidirectional, so you can set the additional time zone however you like it very easily. Moving on to the case now, the case size has stayed the same. So we have a 40mm case size. So from the index finger to my thumb here, that's 40mm in diameter. However, we have the modern style case now, which is a super case, which has sort of thicker lugs, but still very nice on the wrist. So if you do like the previous model did have a thinner casing. I think the super casing helps it be a little bit more filled out and looks much better in proportions overall. From the side profile, unfortunately I don't have my caliper, so I won't be able to show you the exact measurements of the side profile, but you can see it will sits a little bit high off the wrist, will fit under suit cuffs, dress cuffs very nicely, however. And the additional sizing from the standard sizing from the sports pieces is because this is a GMT, so it does have that extra complication of the additional hour hand and the quick hour jump that I'll show you here in a sec with the crown functions. And that of course causes the case just to be a little bit larger than the normal sizing. You can see on the sides of the case, very beautiful high polish. We have the Rolex crown logo sitting on top of the crown itself with the 3 dots underneath that crown to indicate that it is a trip-lock waterproofness system. Crown is nestled nicely between the crown protectors, are high polished as well. And as we move on to the crown functions, it simply unwinds counterclockwise as shown. In the standard position, you can wind the watch. About 15 to 20 winds is all you need to get the watch started once more. Moving the crown out to the next position will allow you to use the quick hour jump system with the hour hand. This is the local time hour hand. You can see how easy it is just to quickly jump between each hour. And this is actually how you adjust the date as well, of course. Let me actually move this minute hand out of the way here. So the quick hour jump, 2 revolutions, obviously 24-hour period, will allow you to adjust the date. So it doesn't have an instantaneous date changing feature. And then for the final position is where you can adjust the hands bidirectionally. So stop that second hand. Actually, let me stop it in a different position here. Not blocking that date window. You can see the second hand coming around the corner, and there we are. Stopping it wherever I like, and that allows you to set it to precise time settings such as to the atomic clock online. You can set it down to the exact seconds while being able to adjust the hands bidirectionally. In this position, the additional GMT hand in the red here will also be shifted, so you can adjust that however you like. So let's just say if I do want to set an additional time zone, let's say I'm flying from London to the Philippines, we'll go ahead and set that extra GMT hand to London time. Let's say my flight's at 12:10 a.m. Press that back. We'll set it there. Press that back down. Quick hour jump myself 7 hours ahead. That's the time zone jump from London to the Philippines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we are. Now we know. Now we can see that in local time we've landed 7:10 a.m. and back in London 12 a.m. So that's just one of the ways you can adjust the additional time zone. The third time zone can be adjusted by the bezel by shifting the 12 o'clock triangular position to wherever you like. So you can set that down to the hour hand where it is in the Philippines, travel somewhere else as well, and then set that third time zone. Okay, so moving on to the bracelet now. So one of the main changes is the Jubilee style bracelet on the sports piece. Like I said, this is a throwback to the 1955 GMT Pepsi that had the Jubilee style bracelet and the same style ceramic red, or not ceramic, but just the red blue bezel. Unfortunately, this is not available on the Oyster, so you only have the choice of the Jubilee style bracelet, but it's not really a downside, as the Jubilee style bracelet is very beautiful with the 5-piece links, the satin finish on the outer of the 5-piece links, with the center 3-piece links being a nicely high polish throughout the center. This is a different style of Jubilee bracelet, though, as previous Jubilee bracelets we've seen on the Datejust have just been a full Jubilee throughout with a concealed folding crown clasp. We don't have that here. We have a sportier style with the Oyster style clasp with the safety folding Oyster lock. As you can see, the lock sitting on top of that folding Oyster, and even the recent Datejust models have shifted over to this sort of style clasp with the Oyster clasp instead of being a full Jubilee bracelet with concealed folding crown clasp. But anyways, here we are with the bracelet opened up, the clasp blades revealing this nicely high polished clasp blades with the Rolex name embossed on there. Underneath the clasp itself, we pulling out 45 degree, we can pull the bracelet out just a little bit to show you these little indentations in the front and in the back of the clasp as well. It'll be right underneath here. You'll be able to adjust the bracelet at 5 millimeters forward or backward to give your wrist a little more breathing space, such as a hot summer day, your wrist swells up a little bit. You can adjust it for a little more comfortability, more breathability on your wrist, and also vice versa on colder days for it to not shift around anywhere. You can make it a little bit tighter. So you can see bracelet is very well done. You can see a nice curvature from the clasp to fit underneath the wrist very nicely. Let me go ahead and open that up one more time so you guys can see that fully opened. Here you are. You can see the nice proportions from the bracelet, from the first link and back. You can see that tapering from the links onwards before it matches the sort of same profile as the clasp itself. Go ahead and close that up now. So folding, Oyster. All right, so moving on to the movement now. The movement is housed in this Oyster case backing. You can see a nice satin finish at the very top of it, a nice high polish all around it, and the riveted edges around the edge of that. The movement itself has been an updated movement. It is Rolex's in-house made movement. It is a perpetual mechanical self-winding GMT movement. It's a 3285. The previous model's movement was a 3186, and before that was a 3185. But now we're in the 3285. So there's been just a few updates to that to help with the power reserve and the energy efficiency overall of the watch, and of course helping it keep it within the Swiss specs that Rolex likes to boast about, specifically at the 6 o'clock position. That's where they put the superlative chronometer officially certified, and it's within the Swiss specs, which is the -4 + 6 seconds a day, but Rolex does in-house testing to make that into a -2 + 2 seconds a day. The functions of the GMT movement, of course, are the hour hand with the quick hour jump, the minute, the shifting of the GMT hand, and the changing of the date with the quick hour jump complication. And then the specific things that they updated in this movement is that they moved away from the industry standard shock absorbers, which were the KIF shock absorbers, to a Paraflex shock absorbers, which is their own in-house made shock absorbers that help absorb about 50% more shocks that Rolex claims. Not only that, they've updated the escapement. Now it's a Chrono G escapement, meaning it's a skeletonized escapement wheel made out of a nickel phosphorus that pairs nicely with the paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring to add additional resistance against magnetism for the watch. But the Chrono G escapement is in-house made by Rolex as well, and then the skeletonization that I mentioned, it helps with the reduction of inertia, so it helps keep that precise time setting with that -2 + 2 seconds a day, and also helps with the keeping of energy efficiency. So the power reserve has been updated from a 48-hour power reserve up to a 70-hour power reserve now. So you can put this watch on a Friday evening, pick it back up on a Monday afternoon, it'll be keeping time just fine. Now let me actually go ahead and show you this watch on my wrist now. So we're gonna go ahead, open that folding Oyster, slap that on. Very simple, very easy to use, and there we are. So as you can see, very beautiful updates to the watch. If you didn't get a chance back in 1955, you have your chance now in 2019 to get this watch. The very beautiful ceramic bezel with the blue and the red, just that standard Rolex sports style you've always known and trust, just that black with the maxi dial. And the addition of Jubilee bracelet makes this watch absolutely unique as not any Rolex piece that is a sports piece has a Jubilee style bracelet besides the GMT at this moment. You can see it looks very, very beautiful as well. It has a very nice shine to it, and overall it just looks great. So if you're interested in this watch or any other watch for the lowest possible price, check out our website, jazztime.com. Where the lowest price is guaranteed. We offer a 1-year warranty. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe below. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on show more to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.